Well, it's a cloudy, windy day here in Vaughan, Ontario, but we are excited for some men's soccer Final Four action. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the OCAA Men's Soccer Championship Final Four. Zach Benoit alongside Matt Hamill, and you can see on your screen the Seneca Sting are rolling on in, and they're going to take on the Humber Hawks. Matt, how you doing?
Doing good, Zach. And there we have our slightly tardy Seneca Sting team coming on in here, and we'll get this game underway once we are all suited and booted on that side of things. But Zach's so absolutely fired up for what we've been waiting for all season long, right? And for the #1 nationally ranked Humber Hawks getting the little home field advantage here in the semifinal at the Ontario Soccer Centre, their home field. And then both of these teams hoping to capture a victory here today, Zach, because that will earn them a ticket to the gold medal game tomorrow. And up next after this one, Zach, we'll have the Sheridan Bruins taking on the Algonquin Wolves. There's a look at Humber's coaching staff, and head coach Michael Aquino, boy, has to be pretty confident in what his team has put together in terms of an undefeated regular season where scoring was such a big asset. Some remarkable offensive efforts over the course of that 10-game regular season.
Yeah, when you look at what they did over that 10-game regular season, they started the year, they ended with a draw. And, you know, at the start of the year, it looked like maybe something was off. The team wasn't going to click as well as we've seen in the past. But they threw that all out the window, proceeded to go on a 9-game win streak. And partner, you talked about the offense. Well, they scored 38 goals. They only allowed 3 all season long. And like you said, you win and you're in. Gold medal tomorrow. The winners of these 2 games play against one another for that OCAA gold. The losers will go on to play in that bronze medal match tomorrow. But we got a battle of East versus West here. The first in the West versus the second in the East. It should be a spectacular, spectacular game. Very excited to get this one underway. Like you mentioned, Matt, Humber, they had the best record in the OCAA, so they got the honors to host the Final Four, the OCAA championship, and I'm sure those boys, all dappered out in their white uniforms, are excited and ready to get this one underway. They started the playoffs with a massive 13-0 win against the Mohawk Mountaineers. They continued their hot play in the next round, and they're looking to continue it here.
Yeah, you bet. And there's Seneca in the red kits for today. So there's a look at our starting lineups marching out to the field. Should be a good one here. And as you highlighted off the top, Zach, it's back to reality in terms of Southern Ontario weather. We're at a much more seasonal high of 13 degrees for today, currently sitting at 10, so not overly cold, but a little chilly out there for those players. You see some rocking the gloves in response to that, so not expecting the weather to be too much of a factor. Zach, could see some showers at some point on this cloudy day, but should be all in all, unfortunately, not quite like the 25-degree days that last week was peppered up with. And at any rate, great day for soccer here at the Ontario Soccer Centre.
Yeah, we're going to step away really quick just for the playing of the national anthem, so don't go anywhere. Well, we see it there, the introductions, the national anthem. We are ready to get underway here in this one. And again, what should be an absolute barn burner of a match. Excited to get this one underway. Seneca, they rank second in the East. Humber first in the West. It should be a fantastic matchup, to say the least. We're very excited to get this one underway. As you see the players coming off the field. One thing to note, Matt, is when we were seeing Humber play in their early playoff matchups, very, very vocal. They were aggressive on the field. They did a really good job. And
yeah, that's important.
You talked about some rainfall, I think.
Already, yeah, we're getting some drizzle, Zach. So
scary situation because we have a lot of technology out here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's been said already, but yeah, new MacBook over here in the commentator booth. So
my semi-new MacBook with a little bit of hot chocolate caught between a couple keys.
Zach, at any rate, technology aside, we'll see how much of this weather becomes a factor in the game, but certainly much, much cooler than what we've seen these players had to contend with up until this point. Final week of October, so when you're talking outdoor sports at this phase, you never know what you're going to get. Now, tomorrow, the forecast for the gold medal round and bronze medal round, that does seem to be kind of similar to today. Slight chance of some precipitation, similar temperature, right around that seasonal average. Zach, I don't got to tell you the seasonal average. I know you know it's around 12 degrees this time of year in Toronto for a daytime
cold.
high.
That's what it is. Around
yeah,
cold.
Not great. How's that? But at any rate, there's a look at Humber in their huddle, about to break. And, you know, Zach, we have a lot, in terms of the Humber Hawk team, a lot to talk about there. And how about Christian Kashishian? I mean, there's a young man headlining the OCAA Men's Soccer Awards. So Kashishian, the Men's Soccer Player of the Year, and he was able to pop in a total of 8 goals, and I think half of those maybe came in one game in a late September contest there. But Zach, that's going to be a player to watch, as Humber's Christian Kashishian, wearing number 12 in his third year of OCAA action, has been an absolute weapon. So keep an eye on number 12 in white today.
Yeah, he's been an absolute rock star. But another player that the Hawks have in Marcus Riviere, first-year player tallying 7 goals in 10 matches, and then he also has 3 assists. He was tied in points with Christian Kashishian, but I think the thing with the Hawks, it's their offense. They've been so aggressive early on, and that's what they need to do to start this one off too.
This is a Seneca team, Zach, that is second in the province in terms of shots on goal this season. They're a couple spots ahead of Humber in that regard. So, Zach, you would imagine that's been the strategy for Seneca all season long, is getting balls on net. We'll see how early and if they're able to stick to that in terms of this contest, because Humber has really been such a stout defensive team, Zach. We talk about the Humber Hawks and their offensive prowess and their really incredible offensive success this season, but the number 1 ranked team in the nation has also been very stout defensively, allowing only, Zach, 3 goals against over the course of 10 regular season games. That is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, and these are two teams that have seen a lot of success in previous years in the OCAA. Humber, we talk about their long, lengthy run of success with gold and at the national level, but the Hawks here, they're trying to go quickly. Mello with a beautiful ball that almost connected with Riviere. Seneca trying to go quickly the other way, and a penalty is called. But I was going to make the point of Seneca and Humber, they have battled it out before. Back in 2022-23, they battled out in gold, and Humber would beat Seneca, eventually going on to win that national championship. And then last year, Humber took home silver, Seneca took home bronze. So these are two very, very good soccer programs here in the OCAA. Humber, they're just trying to continue their winning ways, though.
Humber going with Sheberstov for their keeper today, as they've done for much of the season. And Amar Dinza is the keeper for the team in red. So we're all set and ready to go. Nice spring pass there.
Spring pass just goes out a little bit too far, trying to, again, springboard Marcus Riviere.
Yeah.
Franz Mella, a player in the midfield you need to watch out for. He has been electric. Talk about electric, almost another opportunity for Riviere. The far side, the Sting pick it up, and we're going the other way. Seneca trying to generate some quick attack. Facey will pick it up on his own side and play it around back with his center back duo in Carmen Fiore.
Zach, up next later today on our HSN doubleheader, we'll have the other semifinal matchup of this Final Four Friday and Saturday, and that's going to be Sheridan and Algonquin. The game is set to start at 3 o'clock right here on the Hawks Sports Network.
Yeah, that should also be another fantastic match. Those two teams will be battling all out. Partner, it's a cold one. We don't want you dropping any of the hand warmers,
No,
not to
Zach.
mention the Zippo portable hand
That's
warmer you
right.
have.
Recently acquired hand warming technology
Nice
from
save. I
a
saw
little
that.
department store called Costco, and working out well, Zach, getting some electric heat.
Costco,
today.
the only place where you can spend $700 and get a reward of a hot dog for $150. But that's enough about the whole store.
We'll circle back on Costco later. We got a pretty good soccer match to focus on here.
Yeah, Mella cutting inside, trying to get around a couple defenders, but again, the Sting playing some very stingy defense, and that's what we see early on. This is kind of what Seneca is. They hold on strong. They haven't really given up a whole lot. One of the better teams in that East Division. All these teams here nationally ranked. We were talking about it before the game. Top 15 nationally ranked programs.
But Zach, just to kind of loop back on the fact that over the course of 10 regular season games, only 3 goals allowed for Humber. Really remarkable stuff. And you know, for Seneca, that's going to be something that they're going to want to do early, which is kind of disrupt that defensive confidence that Humber must have in spades, as you could imagine. But ultimately, it's going to be tough. Shiberstoff has been rock solid for Humber when he has seen more action. But some of these games, Zach, Humber has been so dominant in the front end with their scoring and with their defensive line that just hasn't really been much at all coming towards the keeper for the Hawks this year.
Yeah, again, 3 goals allowed over the span of 10 games. I mean, that's just almost unheard of, really, when you think about it. And the Hawks, what's really propelled them out into a lot of success early on in these playoff games is that early offensive pressure. They scored less than a minute into their first game against Mohawk. They scored in the first 5 minutes in their second game, and they're playing a good attack here. Pinto, the cross into the box, trying to connect Fiore. He gets ahead to it. Lescano trying to keep it in. It's still on the edge of the box. Riviere, he goes up for the kick, but that will go beside the keeper, Dinza.
Zach, that goal scored by Centennial in the quarterfinal round against Humber. Humber ultimately won 5-1 to earn their way here. But, Zach, that goal scored in that last game for Humber, that was the first goal scored against Humber since September 11th in a game against Sheridan that ended in a 2-2 tie. So we're talking almost 2-month span of no goals scored against it. And you got to think that's going to be a big point of confidence for them.
Yeah, and that game was also the one I was talking about with Humber. You know, you're thinking, oh, a draw to Sheridan. You know, this is a way better program than that. They didn't care. They turned that completely around and went undefeated the rest of the season. Early on, we've seen the Sting kind of holding some midfield pressure. Humber, they've had a lot of good opportunities, just haven't been able to get any clean looks. The Hawks defense playing strong. Fiore, look at that. Great solo effort the whole way around. Carmen Fiore, a player you need to watch because he gets very, very vocal and he gets very, very aggressive. He's one of those pieces on the back line that is so strong when it comes to defense.
Matthew Leitch getting called for the foul there and a free kick pretty deep in the Humber zone. We'll see if Seneca can get one of their patented early game shots. Now our next game on the way is going to be a East versus West matchup. The Sheridan Bruins, who again you mentioned tied Humber in that early season game, they finished the regular season with a 7-1-2 record. So very strong opponent who is ranked in the top 15 teams nationally. They'll be taking on the Algonquin Wolves, who have a 7-1-2 record. identical to the Bruins in terms of that regular season record. All to say, 2 great games lined up here on the semi-final day here on Friday.
Yeah, 2 great games, 2 great days to finish off the 2024 OCAA men's soccer season. Mela with the strike, and Dinza coming across to make the save. Kasheshian trying to keep it in on that far side, and it will roll out, but it will be a Hawks throw-in. How about that? Franz Mela has been electric in the midfield for Humber. He scored 55 seconds into the first game against Mohawk, and he's already putting together some good opportunities here for his fellow teammates. Another opportunity, and it's Pinto who had an opportunity on the left side going up, making a strike. It went over the head of Dinza and the net. The Sting going the other way again. They're kind of just playing it around the midfield. Now they'll push up an attack for their striker. It was De Freitas. And take a look at it right here. Luca Pinto just drives to the box. The shot just sails over the net. And another good opportunity for the Hawks early on.
Yeah, that's a player who has scored in the playoffs for the Hawks, and we'll see if he can get one back on the score sheet here today. Good speed for the Hawks breaking into the zone.
Yeah, Leitch, he's cutting up here, crossing into the box, looks for a ball. They connect, and Dinza makes the save. Pinto, he's there to grab up the scraps outside the box on the left side. He crosses it back in to Kasheshian off his head. Mela, and the shot just goes a little bit outside that right post.
Hachi Machi, some pretty good and dangerous looking offensive chances for Humber. Within the first 10 minutes of the game here, you saw a flurry of chances there. We got our HSN replay, and ultimately, you know, it was Light stepping up from the defensive zone, sent it across to Ball. And Ball, he's a guy that is tied for first in assists in the OCAA, but had a good chance to score one there.
Yeah, at the end of the play right there, Mela, he unleashed a howitzer of a kick. Riviere, the back foot drop to Ball, but Dinza will come out and make the save. So, again, Seneca a little bit on their back heels right now. The Hawks are pressuring. They are smelling blood in the water. Pinto, he's going to be called for that penalty, and be a free kick going the way of the Sting.
Gotta love this kit matchup here today. The very Canadian theme with the all white and all red opponents here. Very visually appealing, at least to one humble broadcaster.
Very visually
in my
appealing.
opinion.
Working it up here. Seneca trying to create some space. It looks like Lescano right there. He gets tangled up and he draws the penalty.
Yeah, playing it back there.
Yeah, this back line, again, it's been so strong, and they've been jumping up on the attack, not afraid to join the offense.
Zach, number 2 in OCAA scoring is on this Seneca team, and that's Hyman Sultani, third-year player wearing number 11 in red. He's right close to us here in the broadcast booth, just off camera, but he could be a dangerous thing for the Hawks to keep an eye on here.
Yeah, he's right in front of us. We have a great view if he is able to get any kind of strike across. But, again, early stage of this one, 10 minutes in, and it's been all Humber.
But Zach Sultani, I mean, that's a player who's tied for first, actually. I should correct myself in terms of scoring and our goals scored. He's also fourth, or tied for second in the province for assists. So that's good enough to be number 1 in overall points. So number 11 in red, I have clumsily laid out, is a player to watch for the Humber Hawks.
That's the Matt Hamill POW player, or PTW player to watch. It's still early. The caffeine's trying to kick into my system.
It's cold out here. I think maybe our brains need to warm up a little bit.
The Sting trying to generate an attack the other way. They have an opportunity, and they're pushing it up here on the right side. 3 defenders trying to get back. He's going to have an opportunity. No! Pinto. And he's fired up, making the fantastic defensive play. Luca Pinto on Matthew Smith.
And how's that to kind of warm up? Not just, again, we talked about the offense, but the swagger defensively, kind of get that established early in this game. This is a quality chance, but just not quite able to fire one off, allowing the Humber defense to make a solid play.
Yeah, and this is why Luca Pinto was named a Defensive Player of the Year, because of things like that. He has been electric on both sides of the ball, but the defense has been excelling. The cross in here for the Sting can't connect, so Humber, they had it for a mere moment. Now, Pinto, he picks it up, and they're going to slowly make their way on up the field. Ball, he's going for a run down this left wing.
Yeah, Ball all season long has been able to stretch the play, and so often he's able to center it beautifully and allow his teammates a chance to score.
Kicking around, but can't connect inside. And again, trying to go the other way here are the Sting. The counterattack has worked well for them twice. And here's the player to watch. Cutting inside. The defense holding on strong, though. Sultani almost had a break there. And if he did, Matt Hamill, he'd be going on to the casino for how well he was picking players to watch.
Well, Zach, the numbers don't lie, and certainly we have such a good sample size after the 10 regular season games. Both teams have had 2 playoff contests as well. Humber beating Centennial to get here, whereas in the quarterfinal round, Seneca beat Conestoga to earn their way into the OCAA semifinal here today.
And that's a big win. Conestoga, the current reigning champions in the OCAA. So we're going to have a new champion this year, but we're just waiting to find out who it will be. That, slipped between some legs. Dinza, he allows it to go out of play, and Jacob Ball, another good opportunity there for the Hawks. They are rolling right now with this offense.
Yeah, with Conestoga now out of the picture, that denies Humber a chance to get some sweet, sweet revenge on the Condors. But for Humber last year, they were hoping to complete the three-peat, not just in terms of provincial championships, but last season was a chance for Humber to three-peat as national champions, but could not capture the provincial gold, and were also denied a three-peat at the national level.
Yeah, the Hawks, there was a big segment that was going around Humber. They were on a drive for 5, trying to go 5 straight OCAA championships. That's something that they have yet to complete. They've gone 4 in a row a bunch of times, but they've never got that illustrious 5 in a row. And they were trying last year. Conestoga decided to end that dream. Now Humber, they're trying to reset the clock and get right back into their winning ways. Riviere in the middle, can't connect, and now we're going the opposite way. Smith, he's trying to push a through ball to his teammate, but again, the Hawks are continuing to hold strong in the middle. Kasheshian, he's down low here. Great ball up, and it looked like Jacob Ball was going to be the recipient, but the play kind of broke down. Mella steps up. Good back heel by Ball right there. Ball cuts to the side, unleashes a howitzer of a kick, and that falls and goes beyond the net. So a goal kick here coming the way of the Sting.
We talked about the Humber head coach, Michael Aquino, in his 11th year at the helm, alongside a very experienced coaching staff. Meanwhile, for the Seneca Sting, their head coach in his 3rd year with the program, Rob Kavikia.
Yeah, we know how successful head coach Aquino has been, and he's continuing to mount up that success. He's built this Humber men's soccer program as one of the best in the nation, not even just in Ontario, just nationally. This Humber Hawks soccer team, it's electric. We were in the gym, the Hawks Nest, on Wednesday. We saw the Supremacy banners, and men's soccer, they're ranked #1 in Supremacy. Mella trying to create some space for himself, and he looks like he's just going to play it right on back to Fiore. Fiore and Ball working as a tandem. Leitch going up in the corner, the cross in, it gets headed out, but Ball's right there. This one goes sky high. Eventually settled down Lescano, trying to kick some space around. These two teams, it's just been a battle for field position and control. And now Seneca looking to try to battle their way on out here for an attack. Gets around one defender. Facey comes in and makes the great defensive kick. And it slowly spins to Kashishian right at that midfield line.
Yeah, Kashishian able to corral it. Pardon me, play it back here. We'll see if Humber can go back to the well. We saw a flurry of chances a few minutes ago as the Hawks were able to get set up in the offensive end. Zach, we're not probably going to see anything like a big blowout or anything like that in these semifinal games, because we're talking all 4 teams we're watching today and tomorrow are all ranked in the top 15 nationally. And for Humber, number 1 in the nation. For Seneca, number 15, rounding out that top 15 list.
Ball, an opportunity here, yeah, and it gets shut down. You mentioned that top 15 nationally ranked list. Yeah, these are going to be some very good games we witness over these next 2 days. These 4 teams battling it out to try to get gold. Humber, like we said at the start of the broadcast, they have dominated in the regular season, and they hold the hopes for, or I should say they hold the reins as they host this Final Four.
Yeah, we're talking about a Humber team that had multiple 13-0 wins over the course of this season. Not expecting maybe any 26-goal performances over the course of 2 games this weekend, but I'll tell you what, you never know, Zach. Maybe Humber will be able to dial up some big offense, but some very tough opponents. And who knows, Zach, maybe Humber and Sheridan, the crosstown rivals, get a chance to meet again in the championship game.
Opportunity down here. Sultani sets up the pass in the middle. Players breaking down for the Hawks, but they stop it once more. They're out wide here with Smith. Here come the Sting. The centering pass in, Leitch. He just headers that on out, but it just gets out far enough to the edge of the box. Shaburstov, he comes out punching in. What a play. Looks like he might have collided with Sultani, but nonetheless, Shaburstov, how about that? Coming out just punching it out of harm's way.
Yeah, and as we highlighted, he's a player due to the outstanding defensive play for Humber. Hasn't seen a whole lot of action, but he's looked pretty dang good when he has had to stand tall for the Hawks playing keeper. And the throw in from the Sting deep in the Humber zone.
Partner, I think it's, again, the drizzle. It's coming down a little bit here. Thought I was seeing some raindrops slowly starting to fall, and again, weather, we're hoping doesn't play any kind of factor in this one, because this has been a great match so far. These 2 teams just battling it out. We're about 20 minutes into this one, halfway through that, almost halfway through the first half. And Humber, they've just been playing so well. Seneca, they're holding on defense and getting some very big-time saves.
Another offensive push here for the Sting.
Opportunity kind of gets snuffed out there again. But Seneca, they're still holding the pressure. They're up wide here. Just outside the box, putting on pressure to this Humber back line. This might be the most we've seen from the Sting. Norona plays it around the side.
Oh, wow.
And how about that? I mean, Carmen Fiore once again makes the defensive stop, this time using his head. So how about that?
Yeah,
like you said.
The rookie taking a hard shot off the body, and this is really kind of playing into what we've seen from Seneca all season long. They fire a lot of shots, and that could maybe be something the Hawks haven't seen this year in terms of a team that can really effectively get a lot of shots fired off towards the keeper. But so far, Humber has seen Seneca set up a few times in their end, and the Sting have done a good job with some early game offense. But so far, 0-0 remains the score.
Seneca trying for another attempt there, but Facey, he gets the body in front of it this time.
All the makings of a fantastic semifinal match we've seen thus far in the first 21 minutes.
Pushing up and not going to be able to get a through right there. Seneca going back the shot. And there's another one, like you said. Schaberstoff makes that big save. And he'll slow the play down, and the Hawks will elect to try to create a rush of their own here.
Well, the most significant drizzle coming down on these players we've seen of this game thus far.
My Apple weather is lying to me. It doesn't say that's raining right now.
Well, partner, that's probably because you should have the Weather Network app instead.
Fiore, he has it here on the back line. Going up to Kasheshian. Leitch once more stepping up on the play. Centers it inside. It gets kicked out, and it will be a corner kick here for the Hawks. Opportunity to try to jump forward here with something. They're looking to break out. Now we've officially hit the halfway mark of this first half.
Whistle blown, and looks like the official is taking umbrage with the way the Hawks are maybe setting up. Little gamesmanship off camera here. You can see the other official looking as well. So corner kick on the way.
Yeah, Mella takes the corner. It's going to the back post. Dinza, he gets the hands to it. It slips through. Might be because of that rain. The glove's getting a little bit slick. But the Hawks pick it up, and hold on a second. Seneca, they're pressuring Riviere on that far side. He'll eventually settle it down and play towards the back line.
Yeah, that could have been a little dangerous there. The Sting, maybe a chance to flip the field if they were able to pry that ball away, but Humber doing a good job maintaining possession. And right back deep into the Seneca zone now.
Head coach Michael Aquino just talking to his troops. It's a great opportunity here. Free kick from a very dangerous spot. It's basically like a corner kick here for the Hawks. Mella taking it once more. We saw him score a beautiful free kick in the last game. This one just sails a little bit too far. Dinza will have the goal kick.
So a couple of corner kicks, not amounting to much in terms of get out of your seat close chances. But right now we're going to see Dinza play it away. See how quickly the Hawks can get the ball back into the Seneca zone.
It's bouncing around everywhere here, trying to eventually settle it down, and it'll be Seneca ball. So they play it out quick here to the left side. They're trying to spring an attack. Sultani, one-on-one with Kasheshian, and they play it quick, a little, you know, you see the, in hockey, I guess, what do you call it, icing someone or snowing somebody? I guess this time you're just pelleting somebody with the whatever's on the turf.
Version of that, yeah. Little gamesmanship as Seneca pushes it into the zone.
Oh, and that looks like it's Franz Mella, but got clipped up on his foot. Hopefully he'll be all right. He's been a key piece to this Hawks team in the midfield.
Yeah, no question. He's the man the Hawks leaned on in the past few plays to deliver those corner kicks. Leitch, the captain, is sort of quarterbacking things up the sideline right now. So Seneca with the leading point scorer in the OCAA with Sultani, but they've got some other weapons as well.
Looks like Jacob Ball's down in the box. He was pushing for an attack and got a little bit tangled up with players. So he's getting slow to get up and looks like he'll be all right. No bad blood in the water there.
Michael Pellegrini, number 23 for Seneca, is second in team scoring. 13 points on the season, 5 of those being goals.
Played back to Shaberstoff, and this is just a back and forth affair we've seen through 28 minutes so far. These two teams, they've both had fantastic chances. Humber may have the edge right now in some of their attacks, but the Sting, they're staying right in it, playing a very stingy game. Sting will have a kick out here, trying to set up a play for themselves. Great pressure by Mella, and ooh, ref calls it.
Yeah, and a roar of disapproval from both the Humber team and Hawks Nation in the cheering section.
Corner in, Facey, he connects with it. The second shot goes over the net, but how about that? LaShawn Facey had a one-on-one battle for the ball, and he was able to use his size and strength to get to it first. Played it around. Shaberstoff just kicks it out to Mella. And Mella, he's working one-on-one with a Sting midfielder. He eventually gets it up here. Kasheshian, the player of the year. He's going to a lot of open space and patiently waiting for the ball there. It's Luca Pinto. Lescano and Pinto working as a 1-2 punch on this left side. The cross into the box, and Kasheshian, he was cutting the back door. Dinza, he had the size on Christian.
Yeah, he was trying to make his way into the zone just to get in the mix.
Played on the back line here. Dinza. Ooh, that long pass kind of miscuing. So throw in here for the Hawks. 31 minutes so far. Looks like that light, heavy rain, it's kind of died off here.
Yeah, I think it'll just be that kind of day where it's a little bit of the cool weather being amplified by some periods of light rain, but at any rate, doesn't seem like it's been too much of a factor. You mentioned sort of maybe the less of a grip for the goalkeeper, maybe some of those balls slipping through the handles just because of that moisture, but still have not quite seen that opening goal of the game.
Pinto, he is backtracking right there. He's able to get to the ball first, but Smith knocks it down. The Sting just outside of the box here. A lot of good quick passing. The cross going over. And I believe the linesman on the far side will call offside, so the Hawks will get the ball right on back at just about the 32-minute mark here. And the weather here, you did say, you know, it's the regular October kind of temperature. Thankfully, it's not too windy. Feels like it could be a lot worse than what it is right now.
Well, this Humber team, we know defensively that's been such a big strong suit for the team as they hope to rely on that. You know, that old defense wins championships saying, and Hawks are trying to get back, recapture the provincial gold. And they need to get by Seneca if they want to do that first.
Leitch does a good job to stop it. Mella comes in and takes the ball away. That's a good 1-2 punch right there on defense by the Hawks. And now they have the long track to try to get some offense going. Norona, he battles it and kicks it to the far side for Alexander Martins. Heavy pressure, a lot of pushing and shoving on that far side. Pinto now will just eventually settle it on down. Player that's been very exciting to watch here for the Hawks so far this year, highlighted him a little bit in the pregame. Marcus Riviere has been all over the field for Humber. He has been kind of like a spark plug for them on their offense, doing a really, really good job for Humber.
Yeah, he's had some big games. Some great offensive play from Riviere wearing number 17.
This ball goes out of play, throwing for the Hawks, and they work quickly.
So neither team striking early, Zach. We're getting into the last phase of the first half here. See if one team now, with the time dwindling away before both teams get to head inside to maybe warm up a little bit in between halves, see if either team can draw first blood. But Zach, I really get the impression, maybe give a slight edge to Humber in terms of offensive juice here in the first half, but there's been certainly some chances for Seneca the other way as well. So kind of anybody's shot right now to pop one in first.
Leitch cuts around two defenders, trying to cut around the third, but he'll get slowed on down. That's exactly, I think you're in the right path there, partner. It's been a back and forth affair, but Humber, they hold that slight edge with some of these attacks they've had. Again, you can't discredit what Seneca have been doing. They've been holding strong on defense. Kasheshian trying to cut into the box, looking for his partner in crime in Marcus Riviere. They can't connect. And now Seneca, they're trying to go quickly the other way. Fiore, he steps up and does a great job. And he goes down, very vocal. Very vocal, that's what we normally hear out of Carmen Fiore. Mella has only red jerseys around him. He's just trying to find an opening. He goes out wide. Sheshian, he's down in the corner. Has two defenders draped all top of him. Eventually we'll get it back to Mella. And this is what the Hawks are so good at doing, just kind of spreading out the field, generating themselves some good open space for good opportunities. But Seneca, I mean, they're kind of just throwing everybody back to that back line, saying we cannot let them get in or have a drifter on the backside. Leitch, great step up by the captain.
Yeah, the captain's shown all season long, and especially today, he is not adverse to stepping up into the play when necessary, able to keep this offensive push alive right now.
Mella cutting inside. He's going to ball. What a through. And Dinza gets the foot to it.
Wow. That was a major league save from the Seneca keeper to keep it a 0-0 game. Oh, my goodness. Just able to set the Hawks up. That was such a beautiful offensive chance.
Amar Dinza. Look at this. How about, first and foremost, the pass from Mella, the finish by Ball, but Dinza just sticks out that foot, makes the save. That right there is probably the best opportunity we've seen so far on the day, but it's not done yet. Pinto in the corner here for a set piece for the Hawks. It goes short to the front post, trying to set up Kashishian. But the pressure still being put on. Not out of the woods yet. Fiore plays it back to Lescano. Ball, one-on-one on the right side of the box. He's cutting in, cross in, and it's off the feet of a defender. Another cross coming here for Humber.
Yeah, corner kicks are just coming in bunches for the Hawks. Looks like we might have an injured Seneca Sting player, Dante Anthony Marotta, a first-year player we've seen all over the field early in the game.
Yeah, it looks like he took the ball, or the kick, I should say, from Jacob Ball right off the shin. And Matt, some of these players, you know, we always discuss the protective gear they wear. I was looking at some of the shin guards. They're about yay
minimalist.
big. They are yay big. Not that big here. Some players, you know, have the ones that cover the full shin. Some of them have it that cover maybe just, you know, a pinky size.
We're just kind of checking that box. I guess that's some of these players. And you see it in other sports too, right? The NFL, some players elect to go, kind of streamlined with the equipment. And a good example we're seeing right here with Mella in the corner. But we're hoping that the injured Sting player is okay. The good news is he's already back on his feet. So Marotta will be supported off, and we'll have a substitute coming in here.
Yes, Denzel Tienjim will be coming in here to take off the injured Dante Anthony Marotta.
Stenzel standing 6'5", so I don't even need to look at the roster, Zach. I'm going to say that's probably the tallest athlete on the field right now. Maybe
I will double check. Oh, there was a close one. The goalkeeper, Dinza, he was 6'4", so very close, very close.
Yeah, and for Dinza, maybe that long frame. I mean, that really looked like it came into play there with that big save he made on ball as he was able to stick the leg out.
You know what they say, kick, save, and a beauty. Mella, that kick goes to the back post. Kashishian. Fiore was in the box.
And a little something extra. And so Humber is going to have to face the music here a little bit. We're getting a good camera angle.
Yep,
the yellow assist.
Carmen Fiore gets that yellow. Dinza, he was not happy with the space in the box. Fiore kind of used the body and the presence that we've seen him kind of generate so often, and Dinza, he did not take too kindly to that.
Yeah, well, we've seen, a little couple extra type of plays there for the Hawks whenever they've been around the tall keeper for the Sting. We've seen the Hawks trying to maybe be a little bit pesterly, if I could perhaps manufacture a word for this purpose, but really trying to get up in his grill and cause some frustration. But Humber earning the yellow card there. And, you know, for that player for the Hawks, you know, we've seen Fiore running pretty hot here. A lot of emotion, a lot of energy. And, you know, of course, there's always that certain appropriate level of intensity. And we'll see if the yellow card has an impact on the kind of energy and juice he's bringing into the game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he continues to play. Again, we know he's a very vocal player, very loud on the field. And it should be interesting to see how he continues here. Seneca, though, they're generating an attack going the other way. And what a defensive play, diving in to make the stop there. Pinto, he'll eventually pick it up to run it out, but Humber, wow.
Yeah, Jason Alvarado was all over it there with the diving defensive play, and just something we've seen from the Hawks all season long. And, you know, Humber's hoping they continue their outstanding defensive play and maybe lean on that to lead them to recapture the provincial gold.
Working strong, and Dinza, another save made. He's been very active here, and kind of the reason why this is still a 0-0 match. When you look at the opportunities the Hawks had, again, especially the one that Jacob Ball had mere moments ago, Dinza has been standing on his head.
Yeah, Dinza looks great, Zach, and that's got to be good for the confidence, right? You come in here into the championship weekend, and you want to be playing some good soccer, and what a boost of confidence for the Seneca keeper, who's faced a lot of action and has stood tall thus far, both literally and figuratively standing tall.
Mella, he's trying to work it around here. All the way back to Facey, who, again, the Hawks just trying to create some open space here and on offense. So there's Stenzo with that big 6'5" frame stepping in, making a play.
And Humber coach Michael Aquino still giving out some orders from the sidelines. So you maybe wonder where the sort of vocal nature of Humber's play comes from. You know, so much communication. Seems to me starts right from the top. And that good communication has been an asset for Humber.
And oh, just
goodness,
too far. Leitch. That was a bullet pass that looked like Jacob Ball was going to be able to connect with, but it goes a little bit too far. Dinza comes out, makes the save. Alvarado gets called for that penalty. And free kick here for the side of the Sting. Just about 3 left to go in regulation time here for the first half. Again, we don't know how much stoppage there's going to be, but really with how fast the pace of play has been between these two teams, I don't think a whole lot. Maybe a minute, maybe 2, but I don't think any more than 2 minutes. This has been a very, very active and fun first half of footy here at the Ontario Soccer Centre.
Yes, indeed. Great semifinal action, and still waiting to see if maybe now, with only 2.5 minutes left in regulation in the first half, can either team, at this point, it's total backbreaker territory. If you can take a lead this late in the half, that is very demoralizing to your opponent. Right now, it's Seneca with the ball deep in the Humber zone.
But again, as you're saying that, immediately taken away by the Hawks on defense. Facey just goes down the field. And Mella, he picks it up, trying to work it with Riviere now. Riviere, great speed, and he's just trying to showcase that, but a good step up on defense by Matthew Smith. The midfielder cutting back and making sure Riviere can't get away, and Smith makes another play there. But stepping up again was Alvarado. Mella showing the strength. He gets through one defender, and the hard kick goes wide. Dinza, he has the goal kick. Just about 1 minute left to go in regulation time in the first half. Again, this is the OCAA Men's Soccer Final 4. First game of 2 on the day. Winner goes to gold, loser goes to play for bronze. Both of these two teams are battling it out. They don't want to go and drop to the bronze medal match. Ball goes down, draws the call.
Yeah, you could imagine just how high the expectations the Humber Hawks have placed on themselves, being the #1 ranked team in the nation, having this unbelievable regular season after a little bit of, if you'll call the tie game early in the season, a stumble out of the gate. Just unbelievable play. And about 7 weeks they played of soccer without anybody scoring a goal on them until last week's quarterfinal round. But of just a remarkable season statistically. It's been fun to watch here from the Ontario Soccer Centre. And we'll see if they can cap it off the way they want.
Yeah, and you can see in the background, even with the display of just how well this program has been over the years. Those are not the OCAA championships. That's the national championship banners that you see lined up on that back fence.
Yeah, and right now at the camera pans to midfield. All those years of national championship victories, remarkable.
Funny to me always is they won the year I was born, partner, 2001, right there on the banners. 1 minute of added time, so kind of what we expected. These two teams going really back and forth. Hasn't been a lot of stoppages, maybe one for to get the substitution, but other than that, it's just been fast-paced nonetheless. We've hit the 45th minute mark, and we're continuing to rock and roll down here to get to halftime. These two teams battling it out, all facets of the game. Nobody really able to pick through. Whenever Seneca have had an opportunity, gets shut down. Whenever Humber have had a chance, it gets shut down quickly by Dinza, the big keeper in net. I think we have a corner kick coming in. This will probably be the last play here of this first half. Mella, he'll be the one taking the kick. Let's see how Humber elect to play this. We've already been seeing them go to the back post a lot. Here's the kick. going in again to the back post. They're trying to connect with Kashishian. This rolls out. Does it go out of play? And no, it doesn't, but it does get cleared down, and that whistle will indicate it's it for the half. So 0-0's the score after 45 minutes. But, Matt, we saw so much good offense and even better defense from both sides in this 0-0 draw so far.
Yeah, no doubt. And all the trappings of an excellent semifinal matchup. And no score after the first half of play, but things certainly got close. Give, again, a slight edge to Humber, or, you know, maybe a considerable edge to Humber in terms of the offensive chances we saw from the Hawks. When Seneca, give them credit, they have been able to get the ball into Humber's zone, have not nearly had as much kind of settling in time down there. We've seen Humber with so many corner kick opportunities. That near goal from Ball that was just
So
took an
close.
outstanding save from the Seneca keeper to keep this a scoreless game. But we head into the half with no score, but excited to see how this great game will finish up in the second.
Yeah, I can't wait to kind of see the stats after that first half, but nonetheless, we will take a quick break and be right back with you for more Final Four action for men's OCAA soccer. Welcome back here to the OCAA Men's Soccer Final Four. 0-0 draw through the first half, and we're just going to want to take one more look back at this play. It was Jacob Ball who had an opportunity, but Armin Dinza, look at that. The kick saving a beauty. He was fired up. Matt, this was kind of the biggest moment of the first half, and Dinza, he stood on his head for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, as that has allowed the Humber Hawks to enter with a tie. But, Zach, it is time to get things going here for half number 2. We'll see, is Humber able to kind of continue with the slight edge in control there, or is the Seneca Sting going to be able to kind of get a little more ability to set up in the offensive end?
It will definitely be interesting to see. The Hawks, they start with the ball here in the second half. We saw the stats. They were on your screen, so if you missed them, just hit that back button a couple of times on YouTube and you'll be able to see them. But Humber dominated in the corner kicks, but every other aspect of the game, Matt, it was kind of even. Both sides,
Yeah.
you know, maybe it was one more save for the other side or one more opportunity for the other side, but for the most part, it's been dead even between these two teams. Some phenomenal play from the goalkeepers, and I'm excited to see how this one will end.
Yeah, without question, that was the play of the game was that save as Humber's Jacob Ball was in tight, but Amar Dinza shut the door using that tall 6'4" frame to kick the leg out. We just saw the replay there. Second half underway. Cannot wait to see how this one shapes up. Are we going to need some maybe play beyond regulation to decide this semifinal, to figure out who is going to get that ticket to the gold medal game tomorrow?
Sheshian on the far side working it up, and just kind of some things to note and to watch forward going forward, I should say, in this second half. Carmen Fiore, he has that yellow card,
Yes.
so it's going to be very interesting to see how his play style has changed. We saw in the later stages of that first half, he kind of got a little bit more control, wasn't as aggressive, still played a very good defensive role, but it'll be interesting to see if he continues that or if he goes back to his very aggressive ways on defense. Other than that, it's been a pretty clean game by these two teams. Nothing really happening in the sense of fouls or free kicks.
We've seen a little bit of funny business on. I think you could accuse the Humber Hawks of a little gamesmanship when they've been deep in the Seneca zone. You see, they've kind of been trying to maybe get the keeper of Seneca a little frazzled. There's been some, again, maybe we'll just say gamesmanship in that end. But I mean, all in all, clean game. Cool Friday afternoon. Seen a little bit of light rainfall at times. Doesn't seem like it's had much of an impact on the action in front of us. Zach, we got game 2 of this HSN doubleheader on the way, starting at 3 o'clock Eastern. The Algonquin Wolves are hosting, or are going to be facing, the Sheridan Bruins, and that'll be a great East versus West matchup.
Yeah, another really good East versus West matchup, and opportunity there for the Sting, but Sherbastov comes out and makes the save. It looked like number 14, Marco Fangini Andrade, was the one that was cutting towards the box. He couldn't finish off the play, though, because Sherbastov was coming out making a great save. Pinto trying to play it up to Ball, and he has that tall 6'5" frame and Stenzel in front of him. Lescano trying to center it to Riviere. He connects with the head on the far side. Kasheshian, his shot finds the back of the net. The player of the year, Christian Kasheshian, puts Humber up 1-0 in the early stages of the second.
And immediately goes to show some love to the Humber faithful on the sideline. How do you like that? And getting absolutely mobbed. You said it, Zach. The OCAA Player of the Year. Who else to open up the match, or open up the half, I should say, with the goal, giving Humber the juice here and showing a little more love to the friends and family section. Kashishian, but Zach, you know, we talk about those late half goals, how that can be kind of a little bit of a backbreaker, a little demoralizing, but how's that right out the gate in the second half? And a second look here.
Yeah, look at this. Great play set up. Liscano, he tried to cross it over. It goes off the head of Riviere. Kasheshian on the backside picks up the scraps and cashes in the goal. Yeah, you mentioned momentum. You mentioned how things can change. That right there, early on in the second half, that can kind of propel a team and momentum forward. Because look at this. They're going on another run. Kasheshian, the shot, and it gets deflected right to Dinza.
Now it sort of feels like Seneca on their toes a little bit, or on their heels, I should say, as Humber leaning on this Seneca team right now. We'll see if the Hawks can strike again while the iron's hot, or perhaps Seneca can kind of take a little wind out of Humber's sails and get themselves established here in the second half. But a 1-0 game all of a sudden is what we're working with.
Yeah, and we can kind of see the pace pick up a little bit. The Sting, they want to even things back up. Humber, they get more aggressive to try to get more ball control and continue their fantastic offensive approach. Ooh, cut across. Matthew Smith working on a 1-2 tandem right there in the middle. And now they're going to go out wide. Sultani. He's looking to try to push up and attack. Smith now outside the box, cuts in, has a one-on-one with Leitch. He'll slow play it, going all the way to the opposite side of the field to Alexander Martins. His shot to Schuberstoff, and he makes the, I guess, diving save, diving forward in this matter.
Yeah, I think Martins kicked it in there to the zone, and I think that Seneca forward was hoping that maybe some other Sting players would converge on it, but that was just left right there for Schuberstoff to get a handle on.
Lescano trying to get it to ball right there, but it's going to the opposite way quickly. Alvarado, a lot of pressure in the midfield, and says he tugged at the jersey. I think we have a substitution coming on here. Dante Anthony Murata. He's going to be coming on here, checking back in.
So pause in the action as we wait for Marotta, the first-year guy by way of Toronto.
And he actually was taken off earlier in the game after going down with that injury in his leg, and he checks back in. So it's a one-on-one swap, and credit to Stenzel for coming on in. He did a really good job. He shut down what he could do. The Sting have it around midfield, trying to get themselves on the board. They are trailing 1-0 to the Hawks. And if you're just tuning in, you missed it. It was Christian Kasheshian coming across and picking up the pieces on the back door. He beat Dinza, and credit to Amar Dinza. He's had himself a very good game. It's just been a lot of pressure coming his way.
Yeah, no question, and maybe kind of catching Seneca sleeping a little bit there, but now back the other way come the Sting. But it was just that early half, you know, both teams maybe just came out of the locker room, maybe just kind of getting their footing a little bit, but Humber just with the element of urgency scoring the early half goal, and that's the difference maker right now.
And they're already putting the pressure on once more. We saw it moments after scoring the first one, and now they're coming back the other way. And Mella, he'll take the challenge there, goes down, hits him on the leg.
So maybe is this a chance here as Humber now is driving back into the offensive zone? Can the Hawks sort of open up the floodgates, or are the Sting able to slow Humber's roll a little bit right now? Free kick after the foul against Mella.
So we've seen earlier on in these playoffs, Mella, he's had a beautiful, beautiful free kick goal. This one's a little bit further out than he was at last time he scored. So it might be just a play setting up, and it's going to be a quick play. Gets it to Ball right outside the box. Jacob Ball gets tripped up, and no, it's going to be going the other way. And Ball actually is the one receiving the yellow card.
So maybe the embellishment in the eyes of the official, and Ball's going to plead his case here. But kind of looked like, I think for many in Hawks Nation, that the Humber Hawks were going to have a wonderful free kick just outside the top of the box.
Yeah, we'll
That is
take
not
another.
the case. Quite the contrary, my dear friend.
One more look at it there on the replay. Gets kind of caught up, and I guess would it be embellishment? That's what it's called, embellishment. My English is a little off, but
One more look.
they set up a quick play here to ball.
Yeah, I don't know. Tough to call. If that was in the NFL, they say they would probably stick with the call on the field because not enough there to overturn in either direction. But
So the ref that I have in my headset, partner, says it was yellow card for diving.
Dean Blandino.
Looks like we have a Humber Hawk waiting to check on in. I believe that is number 11, Tomas Joseph, I believe. And it is. He forgot to take the penny off. He got too excited checking into the game.
You know, in temperatures like this, Zach, any layer you can hang on to is going to be something you want
Another
to keep on you.
substitution. Dylan Campbell coming on here for the Seneca Sting. Didn't mean to cut you off there, partner. It is cold, very chilly out here.
So we'll see if TJ, Thomas Joseph, can make an impact as he steps into the game. When you take a look at a Humber Hawk team ranked #1 in the nation, you could imagine, yeah, there's probably some very good athletes that don't get the opportunity to start just based on the caliber of players you have in the starting lineup of the #1 team in the nation. So that's another advantage for the Hawks. We talk about the scoring, the defense, depth as well. A lot of players that can step into this game and make an impact.
Yeah, Joseph was one of those guys that was a starter last year. It's kind of looks like he's taken more to a sub role here, but still a very talented player. Here's the cross from Pinto. Dinza gets a hand to it, the second chance right there by Kashishian. They almost had the lead doubled up, and it would have been the second of the game for the player of the year in Christian Kashishian.
Yeah, another big play was needed from the Seneca keeper, and he made it, but that has earned the Hawks yet another corner kick. And you wonder if all these chances Humber's getting in the corner, if they're going to kind of crack the code here. Oh, another outstanding save, Zach. That, to me, it's the height of the keeper. That is the difference maker, reaching up there, and maybe not as much drizzle as before that made those gloves a little slippery.
But did you see who was in there again in the box causing some havoc? Carmen Fiore. He was very, very close. The keeper wanted another card on him, and if he did get that yellow, that would have been his second, and he would have been out of the game.
And this call is going to go in favor of the Seneca Sting, which is a bit of a head scratcher here. Looks like the official pointing in favor of Seneca there, even though it was a Humber Hawk who was not only tripped up to the ground, but then kind of piled on after. There was and now the official corrects his decision. Not too sure what he saw the first time. But it looks like maybe the sideline official came in with the supplementary call. Again, speculation right here.
Exactly.
At any rate, Zach, 1-0 ball game.
We don't have the headsets like the refs do. We just kind of agree with what they say and move on. So big time kick here. Franz Mello will be the one taking it. A lot of Hawks set up. Look for Fiore and Facey, number 5 and 6. They have been all over Dinza so far in the box. This is a kick that's just to the front side and eventually gets booted out. Trying to go the opposite way, but wisely. Look at that. That's the captain, Leitch. He's just sitting back. He understands, hey, I'm the last man of defense. Just if I get the ball, boot it right back down the field. Heads up play right there by the captain.
Yeah, able to get a reasonably good play on that ball and slow down the Sting, who now have the ball, are looking to mount an offensive charge. You know, they're going to want to strike, even things up here, and, you know, it's going to be tough to build up some confidence against such a good defensive team.
And Jacob Ball going up, and I think the offside is called, and that was oh so close. Jacob Ball not arguing. He kind of figured and knew he was a little bit ahead of the official in the back line. Mella, he gets called right there. And I'm not sure if the ref is going to be calling a card here or not.
It doesn't look like it.
So Mella looks like, I believe the ref just said he's coming off the field. And I think it's just to get to
Mella's
the knee worked on.
I believe.
Yeah, he had a attempt earlier on in the game where his knee kind of got scraped up, so he's just going to get it wrapped up now. So he's just getting it quickly taped up, and I'm sure he'll be right back in this game. Fiore, he has the ball on the far side. As the Hawks, they're trying to just mount something quickly. Mella, he's still getting wrapped up. We're paying close attention here. It's currently 10-11. Humber just trying to hold defensively while one of their key players in the midfield is getting taped up on the sideline.
So Mella is now ready and taped up, and he will check back in. So we're back at even strength. Power plays over.
Power plays over. I was about to say the same thing. Pinto, he just boots it down. Ball, he's patiently waiting there. Murata, he went up and over, and that's the call on him. And I believe a free kick. Yes, it will be awarded just on the other side of the midfield line.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. Ball was the recipient of a good shove in the back, allowing Sting the chance for the advantage on the ball.
Mella, he was moving the ball up ever so slight, and the ref says, all right, hold on. They gotta keep it a little bit farther back. You're pushing it too far. But the Hawks, they work quickly. Now they're trying to push an attack up that left, or the right side, excuse me, and looks like a goal kick coming the way. Dinza, he'll have it. About 61.5 minutes so far in this one. I mean, it's been a really, really good game, to say the least. And this is what we expected. Two teams that are ranked in the top 15 nationally. Two teams that have gone up against each other in these medal matches, or to get to the medal matches, I should say, in years prior. And it's always just a good fundamental match. Seneca going the other way. The through ball is beautiful. Sheverstov, he's one-on-one. The offside is called. And wow, that might have been the best opportunity right there for Seneca, but they just couldn't capitalize. The player just a little bit too far offside.
Yeah, it may not have been too consequential because the strike was sent high over the net, but that's certainly something I think Seneca can chalk up as some good momentum, and that was a threatening offensive push. Was offside, but they can stretch the field like this.
It looks like maybe a hair. Is kind of the similar situation at Jacob Ball where he was hustling, and it was just offside.
But Seneca's going to need more plays like that if they can even things up. They cannot wait too long because less than 30 minutes in regulation here, and the Hawks lead. And speaking of the clock, Humber being very patient right now.
When it gets to this stage of the game and the Hawks have the lead, they understand clock management. They work very slow. They're very precise. And it's just how the Hawks are. It's a very well-oiled machine through and through. Seneca, they understand, though. They need to maybe pick it up a little bit. Try to get some attacks going their way here. Stepping up Alvarado. Big play right there. He's going to go with Joseph. The Sting, they backtrack so well right there, and they shut down any attempt. Played it to the back line for Pinto, and they're going to go out wide here to Lescano. And they swing it all the way to Kashishian. Murata headers. And now Seneca trying to get it out of their own territory. Humber has been putting on the pressure here in the last couple of minutes. Stepping up, Christian. He has the control here. Looking up the right side. Mella now working in the box. Gets around one defender to the net, and the save made by Dinza. So close opportunity. Mella trying to get something going.
Yeah, it was a tight angle for Mella, but you saw on the wing moments before, it was Kashishian, and you know Seneca is all keyed up and focused on the OCAA Player of the Year, Christian Kashishian.
We do have a player that looks like he's trying to check in here for the side of the Sting. Jackson Druons. Mella, here's the kick to the close post coming out. Fiore. And he got smacked, it looked like, in the back of the head by the keeper, Dinza.
Oh, man, great defensive play by Humber. The positioning by Humber's number 15, Jason Alvarado. Yet another strong defensive play from him. You know, Zach, we can easily focus on all the offensive highlights for Humber over the season, but it's been defensive play like that.
Look at that big contact.
Yeah.
And again, it's Carmen Fiore, who has been just a nuisance in the box on these corner kicks or these set pieces. I mean, he is doing everything he can to try to get under the skin of the keeper, Armin Dinza, and I think it's starting to work. I think it's slowly starting to pay off. Joseph plays it back to Facey, and they go all the way back here to Schuberstoff. But Seneca still trying to put on an attack. How about this, though? Tomas Joseph checking back in on defense. The midfielder working strong. He subbed in here in the second half. Leitch, the captain, stepping up, making a play. And look at this. Leitch is going on a run down the right side. Oh, just out of the reach. Matthew Leitch, not afraid to jump up on the offense. But for the most part, he's just such a sound defender.
Got 2 balls on the field right now.
Can't do that. Just have to have one.
As far as I know, partner,
That's what I
you
was
show
gonna
me in
say.
the rule book where it says you can't play with 2 soccer balls.
That would definitely make the sport very interesting because you don't know which one you're defending, and you don't know which one to use for the offense.
Or one of them's a money ball.
One of them's
colored
money ball.
gold. It's worth 2.
It's a golden goal. You get 5 points for 1 goal.
The Mountain Dew money ball.
Mella, look at this. Back in after getting taped up and trying to work up this left side. 2 defenders draped over top of him. He just plays it slowly back to Pinto. Facey. He has it. Good little back heel to Pinto.
Nifty by Mella.
And this is what the Hawks can do so well. They just try to create an attack, but they slow it down. Nearly perfect.
And that is cleared. And that ball might land all the way in Brampton because
That goes through the uprights for 3 points.
That is gone. But, Zach, 1-0 score approaching the 68th minute. And for the Humber Hawks, able to capitalize on an early second half goal to give them the advantage. And who else but the OCAA Player of the Year, Christian Kashishian, to pop that one in. It was a big celebration. But will that be enough, or can the Humber Hawks add on to it here?
Yeah, we patiently wait to see. Mello will be the one taking the corner. Hey, guess who's back in the box? Carmen Fiore. Do you think there's going to be another play here between Fiore and Dinza? Well, the ball's going right to him, and it almost finds Fiore.
Well, he'll play it out. But, yeah, he's been raising heck in that box here today.
A lot of havoc being raised. Mella tried to create some shifty moves, but he couldn't get around the defense, and now they're trying to take it the other way, but it rolls out of play. The Hawks will have a throw-in. And credit to these Humber student employees. They have to run a long distance to get the ball sometimes. Got to stay active. Get your cardio in, that's for sure.
Yeah, shout out to the varsity operations crew. All hands on deck here at Humber's home field for day one of the championship days here for the OCAA men's soccer season.
So we're just in the 69th minute here, slowly chipping away at this one. Humber, they've taken that 1-0 lead, and they're looking to punch their ticket to gold medal tomorrow. Ball, beautiful touch off that one to Kasheshian, who crosses it in for Joseph, but Dinza coming out of nowhere. The big frame, the 6'4" keeper, been very active.
It's like a wide receiver, you know, just a tall fellow that is able to just grab these balls away from.
I didn't know DK Metcalf was in the net for the Seneca Sting.
Mike Evans action. Now the official having a word with Thomas Joseph there right on the right side of your screen. It's going to be a free kick for Seneca.
Another player looks like he's checking in, number 23, Michael Pellegrini.
Michael Pellegrini, second in team scoring on the season.
Interesting to see him coming on this late in the game. You know, surprised he's not starting. But now we'll definitely see, you know, maybe the Sting, this is the boost of offense that they kind of need. Isaiah Reed also looks like he's slowly waiting to check on in here for the Humber Hawks, number 23. And here's some Seneca faithful over in the stands trying to cheer on their team. They know they're down by 1, and they know what it means. Win and you're in. Lose and you're going to bronze.
But now Humber, not only are they such a strong defensive team, Zach, 3 goals allowed in the course of a 10-game regular season, but Humber now with the lead, they can maybe afford to strategize and shift ever so slightly to maybe have an even greater defensive focus. But Zach, right now it's Seneca with an opportunity here. Corner kick on the way. Haven't seen Seneca with too many of these corner kick opportunities.
It'll be Pyman Sultani taking the corner here. Goes to the back end. Coming down, making it was Lescano.
Might have an injured Humber Hawk, and unfortunately the header to clear that out of the zone might have really been a bad scene for a Humber Hawk.
Yeah, it looks like when Lescano went up for the, I believe it's Lescano down number 13, but it looks like when he went up for the ball, he tried to take it off the top of the head. It might have caught him flesh right in the front. But he's down getting attended to, and the Humber players, they immediately were calling for the trainer.
Well, the 2 members of the Humber training staff are taking a look at the injured Hawk. But anytime it's injury you suspect maybe the head involved, you're going to take it seriously, and we'll give you an update on the player. Here's a look at the Seneca team bench, and once this injury timeout wraps up, they're really going to be looking at the clock, Zach, and thinking we don't have a ton of time to work with.
And I think they're trying to quickly go through maybe a concussion protocol sort of thing, because the trainer is looking over him and checking the visuals, the eyes. But it looks like he'll be getting up and he's okay. Sitting up now under his own power. Oh, so down on the field, it's actually number 10, Franz Mella. Thought at first it was Lescano. And that's a key piece right there for the Hawks. Mella is just such a powerful presence in the midfield. He'll be headed off the field to get checked out by the athletic trainers on the side.
Yeah, well, that's a scary moment for Hawks Nation, but good to see Kashishian not only walking off, but jogging off on his own power, so hopefully he's no worse for wear. That would be quite the loss for the Hawks if Mella were to miss any substantial amount of time. That is a big part of the offensive equation. You see the training staff, as you mentioned, maybe going through some protocols, as they are sort of apt to do.
He got quickly back to the bench. I think he wants to get back into this game. Sheversov almost collides with his own teammate. But the Sting, they're still holding pressure on here. Mella, he is definitely checking back into this one, and he wastes no time whatsoever. So looks like he's all right. Got some water on the bench, got looked at quickly by his coach. Funny enough, you weren't here for it against Centennial, but him and head coach Michael Aquino, they had a rock, paper, scissors battle to see if Franz could check back in the second half. Franz won that battle, but he didn't get checked back in. I think he elected to say, okay, fine, I'll stay on the bench. Jacob Ball now, a lot of pressure up the side and gets kicked out. Isaiah Reed, he comes on here, number 23, is checking on in for Jacob Ball. So some fresh pair of legs coming on here for the Humber Hawks.
Well, Zach, you have to also think about that, right, which is 2 games in 2 days. So not a lot of rest between the semifinal and the gold medal match for whichever team earns their way there. So it's an exhausting kind of conclusion to the provincial leg of the season.
Mella gets pushed down in the back, no call there. And Humber, they still have the pressure up on the right side. 75th minute, I guess you can say in 10 seconds, going to be the 76th minute. But this game, it's just rolling along. These two teams going back and forth. And what has been a humdinger. Playing around the back line, the Hawks slowing down the pace. This is what they're so good at when they have the lead, just slowing things down, playing at their pace.
Yeah, without question, it has been a fun game to watch, and you highlighted it. Feels like it's flying by, and that is not really going to be something the Seneca Sting are happy about because it's getting late in the game, and Humber with the edge.
Cross into the box, and how about that? Carmen Fiore. He makes impacts offensively with the crosses, and he's making even bigger impacts defensively. Doing a great job for the Hawks, and that was another big play right there by him.
Corner coming in for Seneca.
To the backside, gets contested. Mella will pick up the scraps and just try to get it out, but they're battling. Mella, the body thrown. And, oh, things are getting aggressive. And look at that. Mella is fired up.
So there's definitely a little chirping and a little bit of aggression being shown here, and a yellow is issued to the Seneca player who is just going to walk away there. Beautiful look on our HSN broadcast there.
Martin Lopez. And that was some fireworks, to say the least. How about that?
Mella and Lopez kind of squaring off there, with Mella coming out on top, and a yellow for his adversary there on Seneca.
Fun fireworks as time dwindles down. So now taking it up here is Reed. Over to Pinto, who is trying to generate an attack here with Joseph. Pinto, he's working well. Look at this, Luca Pinto. One-man wrecking crew, it feels like, making his way up the left wing. Battling forward in the corner, and then it goes out, and it will be a a goal kick. These things are flying around here in the broadcast booth. So Seneca approaching the last 10 minutes of regulation time in this game. We're most likely going to have about 3 minutes to 4 of stoppage time after that Franz Mella injury where he went down and got looked at by the training staff. But Seneca, they're not giving up. You can also hear the players. They're talking to one another saying, let's not go easy. If they're going to go down, they're going to go down fighting. Leitch on that far side steps up, makes the play. Now booted down the field. Mella once more goes off of his toe. He somehow picks it up, tripped up outside the box.
No call, and once again, the Humber fans feeling like they've gotten a little hosed in the offensive end.
Yeah, because that would have been a fantastic spot for a free kick, especially with a free kick specialist just like Mella. We'll take one more look at it here. Cuts around, gets a bit tripped up, but again,
the official has, set a precedent of he's not just going to give everything.
Free calls.
Called Jacob Ball for the embellishment earlier in this half.
Hawks trying to generate something here. It gets away from Joseph. That gets called, and it's going to be a free kick for the Sting.
That's
Seneca, they have it in their own territory, trying to work it up the left wing here. But Humber, the defense, it's stiffening up. But a couple substitutions look like they're going to be coming on the way here for the Sting. Number 6, Andrew James, is going to be checking in alongside number 8, Matthew Smith, the two players coming on in here.
Well, Zach, without question, it is getting into crunch time for Seneca, but they're really not positioned all that bad, Zach. Down a single goal. It'd be a much different story if they needed to get a couple on the number one ranked team in the nation who has gone so much of the season without allowing a goal. We talked about they allowed 3 goals early in the season and then went about a month and a half or 7 weeks without allowing another goal against.
Just think of that, though. 7 weeks without a goaltender allowing a goal. That just sets a precedent for your team. And, just a style of play and saying, hey, we know how good we are. Let's continue to roll on this hot streak.
And a combination of, yes, great goalkeeping. Another yellow issued to the Seneca Sting. That
Dylan
time,
Campbell.
Yeah. So that is maybe a sense of frustration building for the Seneca team. And how frustrating do you think it is for all these teams that have played Humber over the course of the season where Humber just doesn't allow you to do your thing? And it's, again, you highlighted the goalkeeping, a big part of the very, very few goals that have been scored against the Hawks this year. But it's really also the team play, just not allowing the opponent any real opportunity to get a quality chance, to get those goals. And Humber's going to continue to try to lean on that style of play right now to keep Seneca from even having a chance of tying this up.
Pinto, he has it in the corner here. The set piece going to the back. Nobody's going to be there for the Hawks. But they still hold control. Mella just outside of the box. Crossing in to Joseph and just missing the corner.
Goodness.
Tomas Joseph.
Wow.
What an opportunity that was. And I mean, probably a matter of mere inches away from doubling up this lead to 2-0.
Yeah, and it seemed like we were maybe 12 inches away from what could have been one of the plays of the season. It looked like just a beautiful, beautiful feed from Mella. Great camera angle here as he just popped that up, and it was right on the money, and the header was not off by much.
And a near miss coming straight out of the replay. Again, it's Joseph cutting to the net. We'll have a substitution coming on here for the side of the Hawks. Isaiah Noel will be checking on in for LaShawn Facey. Look at this. We're having another angle from our amazing GoPro right behind the net. Joseph, in the matter of moments, 2 opportunities. This was the biggest one, though. The header that just sails wide. I mean, from that angle, It looks like it's just off by a foot.
Well, he saw keeper had really no chance. I mean, he was just going to have
He
to
was just praying
watch that
to
either pick the
anybody that
corner.
listened.
Yeah. But it's still a one-goal game, so Seneca still with a lifeline here. They need one to tie things up. And you get the impression if Seneca is able to tie things up, that we would be heading to deep into the post-regulation frame.
We're about 5 minutes away from the ending of regulation time. The cross in, and newly checked in Isaiah Noel makes the defensive stop, but it's not over just yet. The shot, Seneca find the back of the net. We are all tied up in the 85th minute.
Goodness.
What a strike.
Oh, wow. And the big celebration, that was a defensive miscue for Humber, failing to clear it out of the zone. It was left there right at the top of the box, scooped up. We'll see a replay in a minute, but aside from that, Zach, how about the late game momentum? I mean, which team do you think is charged up right now?
Oh, man, that was a strike. I don't even know, partner. Look at this. We'll have one more look at this. What a shot.
Wow.
Turns a corner and just burns.
Beautiful goal.
Jackson Druon's fantastic angle from the GoPro. And wow, we are all tied up one apiece. This game, partner, we were saying the Hawks, they were holding on, looking strong. Seneca just comes out of nowhere.
I mean, this game has been, we mentioned, fun to watch, Zach. It's been flying by, and what else did we expect? A great finish cooking up right now. That was a beautiful goal popped in by Seneca, and they're looking to upset the #1 ranked team in the nation on their home turf. You know they would love to do that.
Yes, don't mean to cut you off there, partner. Just the checking in here for Seneca. Jazel Nonora, he comes onto the field, and that's exactly what, to your point, Seneca would love to upset this #1 ranked team in Humber Hawks. Humber, though, they are getting a little bit aggressive here. You can see they're pushing up the pressure. 4 minutes left to go. The Hawks, they don't want to see this go to extra time. They were holding on, playing very, very well. Druon's, he kind of goes down. He's hobbling a little bit on that right ankle. Dinza all the way back.
So jubilation from Seneca after that goal. And for Humber, you got to wonder what the sort of temperature is on the field for the team in white. Maybe a little sense of urgency here, and kind of a big punch landed by Seneca. And how does Humber respond?
I don't know what's hotter right now, my hand warmers or this game. These two teams are going at it right now. The Sting, they are looking to try to generate. Again, Luca Pinto stepping up good. Mella, he had an opportunity, but that's just way out of his reach. They are trying to springboard his attack there. 87th minute we are currently in. Again, we're most likely going to have some stoppage time here in this one. No offside is called. The ball's drifting to the corner. Druon's crossing into the middle. Alvarado, he'll just clear it. Gets it to Reed. But now it's bouncing around Sultani. Crosses into the box. Header on net, and who else but Druon's. He was the one that got the equalizer. Sheverstoff plays it quickly out.
This is a Humber team that led the province of Ontario in regular season scoring, Zach. 38 goals over the course of 10 games. So for a team that averaged 3.8 goals in the regular season, just one here in this semifinal. And it's become clear that one is not going to be enough.
Joseph trying to step up, but the defensive play there made, and the attack is shut down by Alexander Martins. There will be a corner kick here, though, as again we're entering the witching hour here in this one. These two teams are battling it out, and it's been a fun one to call alongside your partner. Joseph in the corner. He's going to be the one kicking it. Keep your eyes open for number 6 lurking inside, Carmen Fiore. This is close post. Pinto gets ahead to it, but it goes up and wide. Just think about how different this game is if Tomas Joseph connects with that header. Just a mere matter of inches off of that corner. And we're looking at a 2-1 game instead of a 1-1 here, going to the dying stages.
Yeah, Humber so close to converting on what would have looked like an absolutely gorgeous goal, but then right on the other end, it was Seneca who dialed up an absolutely beautiful strike.
Facey, he steps up here to make the play. Defenders draped all over him and gets shut down. They're going to play it quickly. Humber trying to catch the Sting sleeping, but I think they might have caught their own team sleeping on the far side. Nobody was on that rush. You can still hear the Seneca faithful trying to be loud for their team. Good play by Noel. Alvarado in the midfield. He's had a steady presence so far today. Joseph gets his pocket picked. And this is where we kind of see the aggression pick up. We are now in stoppage time, partner. 90th minute. We're just kind of waiting for the ref to signal how much time is going to be put onto the clock. He's about to lift the sign. Anxiously waiting here. 4 minutes of added time is being put on. And it looks like the player that's going to be checking back into this game, hopefully soon, is the player of the year, Christian Kasheshian.
The lone goal scorer for the Humber side. So it was an early second half goal from Humber to give them the edge. A late second half strike from Seneca to tie things up. And maybe the makings of a memorable game shaping up right now.
So they brought in Isaiah Noel to try to add some more height and strength on defense, but the game gets tied up. So checking back in, they're one of their better offensive players, Christian Kashishian. And I believe Jacob Ball is also walking up. He's coming in for Mella.
Golly, this is quite the finish we have teed up for us.
So Mella, he's been taking some bumps and bruises all game. He'll get a well-deserved rest, and he'll put the faith in his teammates here to try to get the victory.
Jacob Ball has been right up there in terms of leading the province of Ontario in assists this season. Maybe look for number 7 in white to tee up a game winner.
He has it in the box. Oh, the first touch just bounces off the chest a little bit too much. Again, 4 minutes of added time is being put on. The Sting are trying to counterattack right here. How about the captain, Matthew Leitch, stepping up? The quick throw in. Reed, he's working around the midfield. The pass by Alvarado, a little bit off for Pinto. And Campbell trying to come around, but he gets his jersey tugged by Alvarado. And that's a yellow card on Jason Alvarado.
Yeah, maybe that time Alvarado, knowing that he was going to have to commit an aggressive foul just to, as he perceived it, slow down what could have been a dangerous offensive push for Seneca. Free kick for the team in red now. Oh, my goodness.
Alexander Martins lining up for the free kick here around midfield. A lot of bodies lined up in the box here for both Humber and Seneca. They play it short here to Nanorna. Cross into the box, trying to connect. Shaberstov goes up, makes the save.
Ooh, that'll make your heart skip a beat, is having to stretch high to snag that ball.
Battle at midfield again, won by Seneca.
Definitely feel the momentum has picked up in a big way for Seneca.
Kicked around Ball. Look at this. Jacob Ball came back in as the striker, and he is back on defense, shutting things down.
Well, it's really the team in red kind of leaning on the Hawks right now. But good back and forth play is what we've seen all game long.
Pinto, he'll be the one throwing it in here. You can kind of feel the pace of this one picking up here. Both these squads trying to score in this last bit of stoppage time. They don't want to see this game go to extra time. They want this to try to get finished as soon as possible. Goes out, throwing here for the Hawks. Leitch will be the one throwing it. Facey kicks it up. Out of the reach. Ball has it. Jacob Ball looking for an opening. He has Pinto on the left side, but Ball elects to just take it himself in the box. Gets it stripped away. It gets kicked way out of play. Facey will be the one throwing it in here. Pinto will be the one throwing it in. He just throws it right back to Facey. Trying some quick passes. Pressure being put on. Fiore steps up. Looks for Joseph in the middle. He has him. Going out wide to Leitch. Reed on the far side. He's trying to get around a defender. Gets his pocket picked. Seneca's going to try to take it the other way now. That whistle will do it. Partner,
Woo.
90 minutes cannot determine a winner here. We are going to extra time in what should be two 15-minute halves. And if that can't be decided, I believe we go to a shootout. We will confirm that when we come back from the break. 1-1 is the score here in the Final Four. Let's take a look here at how we got here.
Yeah, Zach, early first half goal from the OCAA Player of the Year, who was able to tee off on it in the box. And that was a goal that broke the scoreless tie. And then a second look here. That beautiful feed.
Yeah, this is another great angle of it from the GoPro. Kasheshian on the back door just unleashes a howitzer.
Ooh.
It actually looks like it kind of deflected a little bit. But here is the game-tying goal. What a strike off the boot of Jackson Druons.
Such a nice goal, and for Humber, you know that's got to be such a painful one because it just felt like there was a defensive clearing effort that just did not quite play out, allowing Seneca to corral it, and just a quick release, Zach, and an absolutely beautiful goal. The diving save attempt by Shebristov came up empty-handed, and here we are looking at a blank field getting ready for some extra time.
Yeah, a lot of frustrations on the side of the Hawks. You can hear the captain, Matthew Leitch, saying, we had it. But we will be going to extra time. We will take a quick break and be right back with you for the action here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is how the format works. It's going to be 2 15-minute halves, and then we jump in. If that can't decide a winner, it's going to be 5-on-5 penalty, 5 rounds each.
You got it, partner.
And if they can't decide that, it goes sudden death penalties. But we stick with where we are right now. The Seneca Sting, the Humber Hawks. Winner goes to gold. Loser plays for a chance at the bronze medal. Like I've been saying all broadcast long, you win and you are in. Humber are looking to climb back to the top of the soccer mountain here in the OCAA. Conestoga, they knocked them off last year. Humber, they want to get back to reigning their supremacy.
Yeah, for this Humber Hawk team, they're not only used to kind of provincial gold, but they've sprinkled in their healthy share of national championships as well. So for last year having to settle for silver, you know that's left a bad taste in their mouth. If they were to not be able to capture a win here, the best they'd be able to do is bronze tomorrow. For the number 1 ranked team in the nation is taking on the number 15 ranked team in Canada heading into overtime.
Here we go. Humber, they start with the ball, and they're going to try to push an attack out quickly. Kashishian, he's back on the field as well. Leitch is in the corner with him. Cutting inside, trying to find an opening. Kashishian gets it over to Leitch, but looks like just out of the reach. It's going to be a throw in here for the Sting.
So just to reiterate, Zach, it's not golden goal. It's going to be 2 full 15-minute halves, and if those don't decide it, we're heading into the most unpredictable play in
any sport, really, the shootout. Shootout, penalty kicks. It's just back and forth nonstop, and this has been what a day to start off the Final Four.
Yeah, no question.
Player getting checked out here, right on the side. It's number 6, Andrew James, who's getting looked at right now. He's kind of keeled over, holding his face. So he'll be taken off the field momentarily. Facey has it now in the back line, going wide to Pinto. Playing it slow here is Humber. They're in control of the ball. They want to just keep that for as long as they can. You can tell from some of the faces on the sidelines during that quick little break going into extra time, they were not happy with themselves. They felt they kind of threw that game, or this game, away in regulation. The captain saying, what happened? We had that.
And Zach, it's all, when you get to this phase of the game, who's hot right now? Humber may have had the edge for the Lions' share of the first 90 minutes, but after that goal was scored in the ensuing play, we certainly saw Seneca with a little bit of their groove back, if you will, and we'll see if that dynamic carries over here. We had a little bit of pause in action, so maybe that worked out for Humber to kind of cool the jets of Seneca, ice them out a little bit. Free kick coming up for Humber. Let's see if they can get some fruitful outcomes here.
This is where things get interesting, too, because you never know what can happen. A lot of contact. Facey goes down. It's going to be Seneca ball. LaShawn Facey, he went up, and there was tons of contact on him.
It almost looked to me, Zach, like the keeper, I wasn't sure, maybe he was going to get a call against them with the push. You see the keeper for the Seneca Sting, Dinza, is hovering over the scene there.
I believe we have a replay of it, and so here it is. The corner gets crossed in. Good tracking right there. And yet, Dinza, a lot of contact. He was just going forward on that ball, and then the push. So Facey's down. Ref did signal, though, that it's going to be going to the way of the Sting.
Looks apologetic, the keeper there, you see, checking on the injured Hawk.
And he actually just gave Facey some water, looked at him, said, my bad, didn't mean to shove like that.
but these are calls that are quite big, right? This
Yeah, quite
stage of the
impactful.
game, I mean, my goodness, a lot on the line here.
And at these stages of the game, I was going to mention earlier, everything's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. It could be the game-deciding moment when you're in extra time like this. Every moment, it just gets cranked up from 10 to 100 as we're waiting to see if Sean Facey is going to be okay. He's sitting up now on his own power, so that's a good sign. But there was a lot of contact between him and the keeper, Dinza. Checking over at the bench, seeing if, any substitutions were coming on. I see Mella. He's sitting there over on the athletic trainer's table. Looks like he's okay. He's just kind of warming up right now. Facey's still getting checked out.
And looks like he will be heading off of the field with some support from the training staff.
Yeah, and that's a key player right there for the side of the Hawks. LaShawn Facey has been so good on defense that when you take him out like this, it's a big impact not having him. So we'll be interested to see what kind of happens with Facey if he gets back on, but it looks like Isaiah Noel will be checking on for him. Ref just says, come on immediately, don't need to stop for any substitution. That if he is done for the game, that is a big loss for the Hawks. He's a very impactful player on defense. Pinto wins that battle, trying to play it down the field. Seneca, though, they have control again. Kicks out of bounds. Seneca throwing. Fiore, he is getting pressured heavily. Two players all over him, and he draws the call. And that's why Carmen Fiore is so good on defense, because he's able to draw calls like that, draw defenders in to make a mistake. Shuberstov coming out, he'll take the kick. This gets booted downfield by Shuberstov. Lescano plays it to the back head. And it gets to Sheshian, who's trying to springboard Joseph. He's one-on-one with Murata.
Oh, change of direction.
Cuts inside. Jacob Ball has it in the box, trying to settle it down quickly. Defenders crashing in. Ball to the net. And
Ooh.
Jacob Ball. The close side shot doesn't find the net. It finds the mesh on the outside. Quickly played by Dinza, but that was another great opportunity we've seen from Jacob Ball in this match.
And that's certainly a feather in the cap for Humber here in these extra minutes to kind of early on here get a quality chance. And they're going to hope to dial up a few more. Ooh, Leitch, some nifty play to keep the ball away from the Sting.
That's why he wears the captain's patch. Those moves right there,
Yeah.
Matthew Leitch. Wow, what a job done on defense. He has been rock solid at the right back position so far today.
Yeah, shows so many captain-like qualities. He's really good at kind of quarterbacking the play. He communicates a lot, really helps keep his team on point and in line. And we've seen Leitch too, like not afraid to jump up into the play and kind of, do whatever he's needed to do. And another chance for Humber here.
Murata completely shuts down that play, but it gives it right to Joseph, who's outside the box. He's trying to set up a play on the far side. Crossed in to the backside. Kasheshina goes off the crossbar. It's bouncing around still loose.
Wow.
Oh, man. Christian Kasheshian, a second opportunity right there where if that ball doesn't hit the crossbar, it's dropping right on top of his head, and that's in the back of the net. Wow, let's take another look.
And it was a stretch pass. You see here, it looked like maybe going a little too far out of play. Kicked up and off the post. Again, Zach, you maybe put that 3 inches a little further off the goal line, and that might have been prime-time header opportunity. Humber a couple times here in the second half and now in extra minutes, just missing by inches off of plays like that. Humber has had, I think, 1 million corner kick opportunities in this game.
They had 9 in the first half, and they are rocking and rolling it here.
So far, they have not translated into a ball in the back of the net. So we'll see if they can correct that now when it matters most.
Martín Lopez waiting to check on in. Here's the cross to the back post. The header, it's bouncing around. It finds the back of the net. Who else but Carmen Fiore?
Hey now.
He finishes it. Excuse me, he got the head to it first. The second one that went in, Thomas Joseph was the one to finish it. But Carmen Fiore, he has been in the box all day causing havoc. And then Thomas Joseph, he finishes it with a beautiful header and an even better celebration, the front flip. Hawks have recaptured the lead.
Yeah, it was a great goal, and some might argue maybe an even better celebration with the front flip. Zach, let's take a second look here in just a moment, but now Humber with the edge here in extra minutes in the semifinal. But as we mentioned, not golden goal, right? So we still have some soccer to play. But Zach, you mentioned Fiore in the mix.
Bounces around, yeah. So it was header to the back by Carmen Fiore. And then,
hey now,
what a celebration. I mean, Thomas Joseph, we'll see it even better here. Look at the right side of your screen. Keeps it in, gives it right to Joseph, who buries it in the back of the net.
And there's the perfect kind of example of how the Sting are feeling. You see that deflated body language on the goal line there, but the game's not over, and you know the Sting have gotten so close here in this semifinal match. Don't anticipate them to be given up here and by any stretch of the imagination, but Humber now with the decided edge here.
And then Humber, they're stepping up here. They're getting a little bit more aggressive after scoring that. They don't want to be up by one again. They want to double up their lead as best as they can. But how about that? Finally, a cross comes through and works for the Hawks. The man who has been so stingy inside the box all day. And Carmen Fiore keeps it in on the backside. If he doesn't connect with that ball, that is going out of play. It's going to be a goal kick for Dinza. But Fiore keeps it in, gets it right to Joseph in the middle, and Joseph finds the back of the net. That is just such key plays. That's what you draw up in practice and hope you can execute in person.
You know, Humber allowed 2 goals against versus Sheridan on September 11th in the second game of the season. Since then, no team has scored more than a single goal against Humber in one game. So Seneca now being challenged. They're going to have to find their second goal of the game here. Something the Hawks have just not allowed much this season is 2 goals in a game.
Ball gets taken down, and uh-oh, it's going to be a free kick in a very dangerous spot. Humber, they put their foot on the gas pedal, and now they put the car into sport mode because they are going fast. Ball
Without
draws
question.
the call.
So this is going to be on a real tight angle right in the shadow of the goal line. And so Ball will make his way back to his feet, and this is a chance for Humber to maybe put this out of reach.
Might be a tight angle, but look at the Hawk that's on the farthest right. Number 6 again. Fiore. He has been all over this one. They're going close post. Inside Noel. Oh, he just misses it. How about Isaiah Noel checking in for the injured LaShawn Facey? Almost finds his first of the match.
So kind of nearing the end of the first half of the extra frame.
I believe we're probably going to get about 2-3 minutes because the Facey injury early on in this half of stoppage time. But yeah, this first half, I mean, it has blown by. It's been going super, super fast. Shishian trying to play it up quickly. A lot of pressure being put on here by the Hawks because they understand they're in cruise control now. But you have to continue playing smart and really fundamental soccer. Joseph cutting around. Talked about him earlier on in the game. He went from starting almost every game last year to kind of being more of a substitution role this year. And that's not to discredit him for saying his play got worse. It's more so there's just so much talent on this team. But he comes through with maybe one of the biggest moments of the season for the Hawks. Noel. He's keeping it around, kicks it down the field, trying to get it a ball. He steps up. Pinto now, looking for an opening.
Yeah, right now it's Joseph, the man of the hour, with the go-ahead goal in overtime. And we'll see if it stands, but Zach, still plenty of ball left here.
Pinto playing it around, one of the best defenders we've seen on the year, one defensive player of the year. Booted downfield. The heel, kind of a miscue with Reed. Trying to go the other way, but the brick wall and the man himself in Carmen Fiore is right there to stop it and send the Hawks going the opposite way. Again, ball, he's on the left side trying to find an opening here with Pinto. Ball cuts around one, and how about this? Jacob Ball, he's like a magician when he has the ball on his foot.
I like how Humber has Isaiah Reed out there as well. Reed is a guy who's won a national championship with Humber, so you know it's got that championship DNA. And what a player to have out there for the Hawks in this type of situation. Humber's number 23, Isaiah Reed.
Played it down. Joseph crosses it in, looking to the backside. You talk about Reed, here he is in the box. He can't settle it down on the first touch. So there is going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. Man, I should go sports betting after this with how I'm
you're
hitting
dialed in. The numbers are making sense to you. Beautiful mind.
Might be the most I've called in a while. Pressure right there on the throw-in. It's going to be the way of the Sting. So 3 minutes of stoppage time here in this first half of extra time.
So Seneca player taking a little extra to get back on his feet, and we're going to have the training staff perhaps make a visit.
Just doing some
Maybe not.
quick sprints on the field, off the field. And it was a pretty okay day to start this game. The wind, it feels like it's starting to pick up, and I don't like that because then it gets cold. It's been a pretty good day without the wind.
Well, partner, we've had it too good for too long. We had about a week stretch of 25-degree weather to round out the middle of October, and we're back to where we typically are this time of year, which was a high of 10 degrees or high of 11 degrees for the day.
This kicked out of play and thrown here for the Hawks, who they lead at 2-1. Here in extra time. We'll have one more 15-minute half. Humber, they want to hold on so they can send themselves to the gold medal match.
Yeah, one more half after this, and right now maybe just one more last opportunity here in this dwindling seconds here of our first half of overtime to find an offensive chance. Watch out, Seneca moving in the zone.
Kicked down and around and picked up by Leitch. Played down to Lescano, who just boots it down for Ball. Jacob Ball has a step on the defender. This could be the opportunity the Hawks need. Jacob Ball with a great defensive play made. Murata, he is down. He got hurt earlier on in the match. Humber, they are trying to pressure it here. Kasheshian in the box, strikes. Denzo with the save. Reed picks up the scraps. The defense holds strong for the Sting. What an outstanding defensive approach by the Sting. They're trying to counterattack it right here. Stopped by Noel, but Seneca, they're still holding the pressure. Going up into the box now. Stepping up, making the stop. Kasheshian just boots it down the field to Reed. And oh, man.
Pretty intense stuff going on right now, Zach.
What an action-packed couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds, I should say, we just saw. Humber, an opportunity to try to extend the lead. We had a player down on the side of the Sting, a player down on the side of the Hawks. And that will do it for the first half. Alvarado is the player down, as well as Christian Sheshian. I mean, these players are leaving it all out on the field right now. Look at this chance right here. Back and forth. Christian absolutely unleashed a howitzer of a shot. Dinza, credit him, he made the save, but there are players down all over the field. We will take a quick break here and then bring you right back for 15 more minutes of soccer action in the OCAA Final Four. Well, that was the quickest little intermission I think we've seen all day long. We have 2 substitutions coming on for the Hawks, coming back into the game.
Yes.
Franz Mella as well as Marcus Riviere. And then for the side of the Sting, it'll be number 26, Giselle Nororna. He checks on in, but partner, there were players down on both sides of the field. I mean,
Yeah.
they laid it all out on the line. Humber, they now need to hold for 15 more minutes. And if the end of that first half says anything, the ending of this half should be electric.
Yeah, an absolute war of attrition. And we are seeing this battle come down to the last 15 minutes here in overtime. Humber with the edge. And you highlighted Riviere back in the game for Humber, number 17 on the bottom of your screen right now. Mella with the ball in the middle for Humber. He's also checked in, so some important offensive weapons for the Hawks have checked back in. And it's closeout time, Zach. This Humber team has big dreams. The number 1 ranked team in the nation. Not only do they have their eyes on that gold medal game and a provincial championship, but, you know, they have that expectation to take it national as well. But they still have 15 minutes here against the Sting team. That showed in regulation. They can flip the game on you real quick. They have that ability. We'll see how it shakes out.
Well, here we go. The final 15 minutes of play here in this one. If Seneca tied up, we go to the PKs. But this is the final 15 we'll see of football action in this first Final Four matchup. Again, we still have one more match to bring you later today. It'll probably be happening, I want to say, 30 or 40-ish minutes after it was originally scheduled. It was originally scheduled for 3 o'clock. Well, it's 2:30 right now. Would assume it would be scheduled for 3:30, maybe 3:45 time. Give the players about 45 minutes to an hour to warm up. But back and forth we go. The pace of this second half starting off a little bit slower than we saw in the first one of extra time.
And we should have an absolute barn burner of a game in the second one as well, as we'll have the number 9th ranked team in the nation, the Sheridan Bruins, taking on the team by way of the nation's capital, the Algonquin Wolves.
Kicked around. Seneca not agreeing with that one. They thought the ref pulled out a card, and he will.
Zach, Sheridan ranked number 9 in the nation, Algonquin ranked number 11, so that'll be a tight contest. But this has been a tight contest right here between number 1 and number 15 in the country.
Oh, so excuse me. It's actually a yellow card going the way of number 10, Franz Mella. Thought it was on Seneca at first, but no, Mella picks up the card, and be a free kick right here for the side of the Sting. Kicked out, Riviere. Fantastic work done right there. Ball was pressuring the attack. Dinza, he just boots it right back down the field. Fiore, he is vocal right now, screaming out plays for his team. The goal scorer in this extra time, Joseph, he's trying to find an opening. That gets kind of booted away. The Sting pick it right back up. But how about this? Joseph playing offense, jumps too quickly to defense, and him and Ball for trying to get an attack going here on the far side. Jacob Ball hasn't found the score sheet yet, but he's been really everywhere around the net. Quick throw in here. Reed gets kind of tripped up, and it's going to be Hawks' free kick, and the ref says going a little bit too fast. The
Slow
adrenaline's
down.
rushing.
Speed racer. Well, you could imagine how these players got to be feeling right now. This is high-stakes pokers, a trip to the gold medal game on the line. And for Seneca, they have to dig deep. I mean, they are in a bit of a hole right now. Humber with the ball in the offensive end. Not what the Sting need right now. Well, the next game here on HSN has some big shoes to fill, Zach. This has been a good one.
You talked about how close this game has been, and you know we discussed the next two teams that are playing. They're even closer in the ranking, so it should be interesting. And you can hear the yells. Yeah, that's no other than Carmen Fiore. He is a very vocal back here for the side of the Hawks. Humber have the free kick. Oh man, this has been a sensational match.
Well, you could imagine it's time for Seneca to lay everything out on the field, as we have just over 10 minutes of overtime left.
Hawks, they are taking their time. They understand right now they are in control. But this is kind of what we saw in the last 10 minutes of time in that first half. It was more so Seneca getting very antsy. An opportunity on the far side. Mella cutting in. The defensive play made right there. And another big offensive push by the Hawks gets turned into maybe an offensive counterattack by the Sting. They kind of slow up a little bit. Humber gets a bit more set. They have more bodies on defense. Matthew Smith, the through ball. Sultani, his shot save made.
Wow. Zach, the parallels are kind of jumping off the page right now, right? It was in regulation, Humber with the early goal, or the earlier goal in the game in that second half, and then it was Seneca late who tied things up. In overtime, Humber scored earlier on. Now it looks like Seneca poised to maybe strike back. A big corner kick on the way.
And this is roughly around the same time Seneca started turning that page in regulation time. They had 10 more minutes left. And they're trying to push the pace here. The corner goes to the back post, coming through, not going to connect with anybody. Reed will pick it up on the far side and just boot it way down yonder. Crossed right back into the box. Sheberstoff coming out. He'll just dive on it. Partner, the hearts are racing up here in the broadcast booth with some of these attacks.
And milking the clock a little bit here is Sheberstoff.
Again, so just 10 minutes to go here in the extra time. If Humber holds on, they punch their ticket to the gold medal match. If Seneca answer back, we're going to PKs in what is one of, if not the most unpredictable ways to finish a game. You never know what's going to happen in penalty kicks. Campbell has it on this close side here, and he's pushing up the attack with his teammates now, kicking it around on the side. The Sting. This is where we saw them pick up pace in the end of the regulation. That's exactly what they're doing here. Mella steps up massively. That's a great play by Franz. Heavy contact in front. It's going to be a throw-in for the Hawks.
Well, at least Humber does get the advantage of the throw in there. Looked like
Lot of
Riviere took a lot of contact, no call, but this is also that phase of the game where, you know, maybe officials tend to adopt that philosophy of let's let the players decide thing here. Maybe it has to be an overly egregious play to get that call.
A little bit of a miscue, and that ball gets booted all the way out. So Pinto and Fiore, a little bit of a miscue between the two of them. But wisely, Isaiah Noel, who's stepping up mightily right now for LaShawn Facey. Noel has done a great, great job. To the midfield now, Jacob Ball battling. He wisely plays the ball off of a second hop and takes it away from the defender. Riviere, one-on-one, steps up. Marcus Riviere, save made. Dinza again. Wow. Oh, my Lord.
This is a fantastic goalkeeping performance continuing. And looks like Jacob Ball is maybe cramping up here, Zach. So Humber with an injured star offensive player there getting taken care of. Second look, this was such a huge save. Riviere with all the patience in the world here, using his body positioning, got a good strike off. But once again, using that 6'4" frame as the Seneca keeper, and add another highlight reel save for Amar Dinza.
Amar Dinza I mean, if there are awards if in the match, I think he would win it. Because some of these saves have been crucial. Humber could be up 4-5-1 in this game, but Dinza has made key save after key save. That's why this is so close.
Yeah, there's been a couple of no-brainers that he has absolutely found a way to shut the door on. And Zach, if Seneca can find a way to even things up, maybe get the edge in the penalty kicks, you might want to consider the tall fellow wearing all blue in net for the Sting as one of the players of the match. But right now it's Humber looking to put this one away. This might be the nail in the coffin if a goal can be popped in here on this offensive drive.
Yeah, Jacob Ball, that injury is not looking good. It looks like it's his right ankle that he's kind of looking at.
Or it could be stretching out some of the muscles in the leg. You typically see this type of reaction from the trainers in a cramping situation. He's also slamming water. So I think that number 7 for the Hawks not going to be in any danger of missing some meaningful time. Of course, gold medal game and bronze medal game set for tomorrow. So
Santiago Muniz is the one checking on in here for Jacob Ball. He'll come in to finish this game.
And he's a good high-energy player to check into the game at this stage for Humber.
Trying to go out wide to Lescano on the far side, but he can't connect there. That little miscue by the Sting. So we'll have 5 minutes of regulation, or excuse me, I should say extra time left to go. Stoppage time. See if I can pull it out of the hat again. I'm going to say probably 4 minutes of stoppage time. There's been a couple lengthy stops here. Players tangled up. Seneca's going to have a free kick. Kick goes up and immediately gets booted down the field by Lescano. Reed, he is hustling down there. He has one defender with him, and defender will just header it out of play. Alexander Martins saw the pressure
and didn't want to risk maybe playing it back to his keeper, as a couple of Humbers were showing great hustle getting into the play. And doesn't that really kind of highlight Humber is playing hard right down to the last whistle? This is kind of a closeout effort you think might just be enough here with this 1-goal lead.
Kind of feels like the Hawks understood that in the last couple minutes of the regulation time, they felt they were, taking their foot off the pedal a little bit. Seneca was able to get control. This time they are going to the wire. They are putting their foot down all the way to the end. Noel plays it now. He goes to the far side for Leitch. Leitch just boots it down. He's looking for Riviere, and a lot of contact. Marcus Riviere was tugging at the jersey, trying to break away from his defender. Seneca will have a free kick. 3 minutes left to go here until we hit the 1:20 mark. Probably looking at about 3 to 4 minutes of stoppage time with the 2 injuries we have already seen. Seneca, they are pushing into the box though. Crossing it. Fiore gets it, and he just boots it down. Carmen Fiore steps up in a big way. Cormac Tracy right now is waiting on the side to step in. And, oh, are they going to call a goal kick? No, okay, they're calling the goal kick. Thought for a second they were going to call a penalty shot.
Okay, so last minute switch up with number 24 on Seneca into the game. And first-year player Cormac Tracy, chance to make an impact here. Goodness gracious. So Humber is just going to want to clear it out of the zone. And, you know, Zach, sometimes the best defense is a good offense. And we'll see if Humber can just hang on to the ball here as precious time ticks away.
A lot of pressure on the far side. Humber will have the ball. And who else challenging there again? Carmen Fiore has done such a good job on both sides of the ball today. He's getting into the box of Amar Dinzen. You can see kind of behind the mesh fencing, the other two teams, they are starting to arrive because they understand that their game is coming up soon. Hawks and Sting are trying to end it here. Humber, they're looking to punch their ticket to gold. Sting trying to stay alive in contention for that gold. As we close off the 120 mark, a lot of pushing in the box, and it's going to be called a goal kick. Dinza, he knows he has to go quick because we are just about to hit the end of the extra time as we patiently wait to see how much stoppage time gets added to the clock. Campbell plays it to the back line. 3 minutes of stoppage time being put on. I am on fire.
You got it, partner. As that gets cleared out into the parking lot. Seneca pushing into the zone right now. So it is do or die time right now for the team in red. We've had a little extra time needed here. Our usual 90 minutes, not enough to decide a winner. Humber with a big header thanks to number 11, who checked into the game and made the ultimate impact as Joseph got the go-ahead goal in extra time.
And now it's going to be Riviere. He's just trying to drain some time out here in the corner. 2 defenders on him. It goes out. It's still going to be Humber throw-in. That is just such a textbook play by the first-year player, Marcus Riviere.
And how's that going forward for Marcus Riviere? He's already had a great season with the Hawks, and you head into the postseason and able to just make such an impact in this late stages of the game. Almost scored a goal moments ago that demanded a massive save from the Seneca keeper.
Trying to spring an attack here, coming out and collides with the goaltender outside of the box, but picked up by Fiore. And that could have gone drastically wrong for the Hawks as Seneca tried to push an attack late in this one. But now Humber taking it the other way. They're trying to just kill off more time here. Again, 3 minutes of stoppage time added to the clock. It's do or die time for the Sting. They realize that, and they're pushing the pressure and the pace here. Players colliding at midfield. Cutting in, Smith, he's trying to set up an attack. Crossed into the box, nobody's on the far side. Picked up, though, by the Sting. Crossed over once more, Smith fighting with Riviere. The ball gets pushed back out, pushed down, Marcus Riviere. It looks like that's going to be a yellow card on 17, and it is.
So the rookies maybe foot a little too hard on the gas pedal there, but you know what? That is some good closeout energy he's showing there. But this is a free kick that's in
dangerous spot.
Exactly. It's not dangerous. How do you like that?
So standing by the ball, just trying to see who it is. Looks like Andrew Jones, number 6, and Jackson Druons, number 21. This could be the final play of this match. Seneca looking to stay alive. Humber looking to hold on, punch their ticket to gold.
Well, it kind of feels like anything is possible. We've seen some outrageously entertaining play in this game. And one last opportunity, it feels like, for a little bit of magic. Down a goal, Seneca late in the game.
And look at this. They're bringing in Dinza all the way for this play. Not? This is a big moment in the game, partner.
Tall fella too, right? 6'4", that keeper.
Crossed in. Dinza finds it. Shaburstov makes the save. Either way, offside was called, but that was a big play. They brought in their 6'4" keeper to try to make a play. He connected with it. Shaburstov boots it down the field. And this game, it's dwindling down. The Hawks on the bench, they know it. They were getting up and getting excited early on. Seneca trying to push it up. They're stuck at midfield, diving bodies. And that will do it. The Humber Hawks are going to the gold medal match.
Well, a classic game here in the semifinal round. The Humber Hawks, thanks to a overtime goal from Thomas Joseph. What an exciting game. Just great back and forth play. And for Seneca, that's got to be a heartbreaker. It was a hard-fought battle. We, at times, Zach likened it to, it's like a war out there. You had players going down. It's cold. It's kind of weather where it's just tough to play through, but Humber Hawks ultimately getting the edge and getting it done.
And again, this is how the Hawks put this game away. A cross set piece that Thomas Joseph finds in the middle. And he put the Hawks up. The celebration at the end, best part of it too, the front flip for style. But what a way to start off the Final Four, Matt. And I mean, these two teams, they laid it all out on the line. Amar Dinza had himself a exponentially exquisite game. He did everything he could for his side. The Hawks, they are just a powerhouse, and they powered their way into the gold medal match tomorrow.
There you saw a replay of that front flip. Sorry, partner, but that is the final. Goodness, what a game. And next up, we have Algonquin and the Sheridan Bruins, number 11th ranked team in the nation and the number 9th. And we should have another great one for you here on the Hawks Sports Network.
You said it best right there. We will take a break, and we'll bring you the second match. The winner of that goes on to play the Hawks tomorrow in gold. Loser will go to play Seneca in the bronze. Don't go anywhere. Get yourself some water, some food. Go to the bathroom because I'm sure we're in store for another fantastic match here in the Final Four.